So I had an interesting lucid dream this morning that kind of gave me some insight into how dreams work and how the human mind works that I'd never really thought about before. Okay, so a little bit of background. One of my hobbies is learning languages. I enjoy learning other languages. I suck at it. I am terrible at learning other languages. After like a year of playing with my Japanese friends and having the Japanese Rosetta Stone, I could talk a little bit. I could understand what they said, but overall, I wasn't really learning the language that well. But Japanese is a pretty hard language to learn, especially because there's no spaces between the words. At least with English and other languages, there's spaces between the words so you can see what the words are. Well, in Silicon Valley, a lot of the people that I'd meet, and a lot of my coworkers and stuff like that, were German. Like, I would say, like, over half. And, or at least it seemed like that. A lot of people I made friends with were. So, around April, I bought the German Rosetta Stone because it's like, you know what? All my friends are speaking German. I need to know German. And they're always talking about how good Germany is. And I'm probably gonna go over there someday because of that, so I might as well learn it. And actually I am. So I'm still planning to go over to Germany with one of my friends, but I don't know about that trip. That trip's kind of a little too close to me moving back to Illinois, and it's just craziness. I might go later. But still, it sounds fun. Well, so I've been learning a little bit of German, and it's the funnest language I've ever learned. I really like it. It's really fun. Japanese was a little fun. The funnest part of Japanese was getting to talk with my Japanese friends, because they didn't speak English. But with German, I didn't really thought about it, because at first I was like, oh, so I can understand what my friends are saying whenever they're talking over themselves. Well, then it occurred to me, this opens up a whole world of possibilities. There's documentaries, video games, news articles, and it's like, oh my god, there's so much stuff. So that's also was helped me, propelled me to learn more. I'm at the stage now where I can't really speak it that well, but I can read a Wikipedia article, or I can watch a documentary and get like 1/8 of what they're saying. And so I can start learning from context, so that's nice. Well, I didn't think that me learning another language would really affect my dreams, but it has. So this morning, I had a lucid dream. Well, my lucid dreams don't start off with lucidity. I'm always like, I'm in the dream, and then something sparks me like, oh right, this is a dream. Okay, cool. And it usually goes one of two ways. Either I'm like, oh, I'm going to take control, or the other option is I just decide, this dream's pretty nice. I don't want to ruin it by my own input. I'm just going to enjoy it, and so I like back out of lucidity. Well, in the dream, I was on a train car for some reason, and there was like 10 other passengers, and they were all speaking horribly broken German to me, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying. I know the words, but you're saying gibberish. I know just enough to understand that you're not saying it correct, saying anything. And then it occurred to me that this is the moment whenever I went lucid in the dream, and I was like, oh, you're a dumb version of me. So that means you don't have even the horrible, broken understanding I do. You have a chopped up version of the horrible, broken understanding I do. That makes so much sense. And meanwhile, while I was thinking that, I was looking around, and like the 10, they were like NPCs in a video game. Like the 10 or so people were still gibbering about, and it's like, you're not saying anything. But I've learned so much from this. And so now it's like, in the dream, I went through a whole, like, 5 minutes in the dream world of just, like, contemplating, like, well, is my brain having to divide the processing power between you guys? Or is this Just like, since there's no actual, like, time relation, like in the real world, more time could be passing, so perhaps it could just take 10 times longer to calculate this dream. But there should be a moment of me not, or there should be an amount of inefficiency that just inherently means I cannot make an NPC or a character in my dream that has a knowledge of the language as good as me. And then in the dream I also went down another tangent in my head, like, I don't remember any of my characters lacking much of English, but then when I think about it, a lot of the characters do have more simple English in my dreams. Like, they don't have, like, the same things that I would normally hear people say. They're more, like, simple. And so, yeah. It might also be because my brain is trying to simulate, like, an artificial intelligence in the dream or whatever, and it's just, it doesn't come off convincingly, and it's like, it always pops me out of the dream. Stuff always does that. Whenever I'm reading something in a dream, like, most of the time whenever I read something, it's like, oh, it makes sense for the dream's lore. Like, oh, I'm on a mountain and this thing's a bunch of recipes and I can read it, and I've even done the trick of, like, looking away and reading again, and it's the same thing. I'm really happy with that. I have, like, a really solid dreams. I like that. But yeah, I found that so interesting, that learning a different language could mess up your dreams, or at least it could tint the people. It could tint the people in your dreams. It could affect that. And immediately after that, I was like, this is a horrible fail of a dream. It was an interesting learning experience, but I do not know enough of that language to be able to start having characters haunt me with it in my dreams, because maybe if I became fluent and then I would have, like, characters speaking broken German to me, that would be fine. But me having a broken understanding and them having just, like, a diced up broken understanding, it's just like, no, it sounds terrible. I thought it was funny. I'm kind of tired right now, so I think I'm gonna go to bed. I hope I don't have any other weird dreams. I had a lot of weird dreams yesterday. A lot of them. That dream about the train car, I stayed in that dream for about 2.5 hours. When I started, it was about 7 a.m. And then right around I ended, it was around 9:15 a.m. Because in the dream, the fourth train car had a McDonald's. And there was a whole bunch of weird shenanigans and stuff that went on in there. But I remember I kept looking at the clock, and it's like, man, time's, like, flowing really realistically. It's only 9:15. Yeah. Well, I guess I can still get the breakfast menu. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. Although sometimes I can be lucid, then I can go back into it. I go back into just kind of being dumb in the dream. Then I'll pop back into lucidity, and I realized the logo of McDonald's was wrong in the train car restaurant thing, whatever it was, in the dream. And because it was like McCafe, it's like, that's not right. It would be McCafe. It's a stupid word, but I know it wouldn't be McMick. And for some reason in my dream, it got duplicated. And I was like, that is an error of my brain. Yeah, that is. Just like, I know I'm in a dream now. Yeah. And I ended the dream after that because it sucked. It was just McDonald's in a train car. It's like, this sucks. If it was Panera in a train car, that would be pretty cool, though. Now I'm hungry for Panera. And the nearest Panera is 60 miles away. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya!